Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday or Tuesday so far. I keep thinking it's Wednesday because we usually do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but doing Tuesday and Wednesday this week.
I'm just going to take everybody in here.
Before we're going to Saskatoon for a little bit of an early Christmas, should be a pretty good time. So
Yes,
pretty
yes,
excited for that.
yes. So today, I'm just tagging everybody here.
Okay.
Today, I just wanted to talk about kind of just food tracking accurately and kind of what that looks like. So I brought my scale here because this
A
is
little prop today for Britt. Yeah.
yeah. So this is the only accurate way to track, in my opinion. I wanted to go over just like how to track, how to use your scale. Obviously, if you're in this group, you're in our program, and you're most likely tracking. The only time that we don't have clients track is if there's been a history of like eating disorders, things like that. Then for that specific client, we don't track or weigh their food.
Right.
But for most people in our program, they're weighing and tracking their food.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we just want to kind of go over just the importance of this, and then stuff that we see too. Lots is people will come in and then they'll kind of just track in like cups and tablespoons and things like that. And I don't want to say that's a bad thing because it's still like you're still tracking, you're still trying, but it can be inaccurate. I think more so like weighing in cups and tablespoons and things is good for like a maintenance phase. Once you've gotten to your goal, it's better to like maintain if you wanted to use cups and tablespoons.
Over time, you get it. Like if you're weighing for like years on end, you'll get like a really good idea of
Yeah.
like how much a small amount of food looks like and all that. Like you'll start to
Yeah,
notice a habit because
exactly.
you'll be weighing the same amount of foods out for such a long period of time that you'll get used to seeing that amount of food. On
You'll
the
know
plate.
what the
Like,
portion
you'll
is.
just know. Like
Yeah.
now, like that doesn't mean like don't ever stop. Like it's a great habit to have for your entire life. Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Simply because like you know exactly how much food you're eating, right? If you're not food tracking, if you're not using a scale properly, then inevitably what's going to happen is you're just going to probably eat a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Usually is the case. So,
Exactly.
that's just the biggest thing with having like full control over kind of how much you eat and
Yeah.
understanding down to the gram essentially like how much you're having.
Yeah.
It's a lot better that way than cups and tablespoons and things, which are obviously convenient. You just kind of pull it out.
I get it because I don't want to say it's like it's a bad.
I understand that.
It's
I understand that.
bad
I used to
thing.
do that a long time. Like when I was younger, when I first started doing this, that was how I was weighing my food in cups and tablespoons.
Yeah.
Probably for the first like 3-4 years. Before I really started to weigh my food consistently. So just so you know, like it's totally normal. There's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
that.
so I don't want to say it's a bad thing. It's just if you have a really specific weight loss goal, like especially too, like if you're like, I want to lose my last 15 pounds, I want to lose my last 20 pounds. Okay, we're gonna have to push to get there, and you're gonna have to make the lifestyle changes, and we're gonna have to be super, super accurate. Especially like if you've hit that plateau and like an actual plateau, like you're actually not losing any more weight. We have to be that much more precise, and it's not that we have to be this precise, weighing everything down to the gram forever. But once we get to that goal, it's a lot easier to maintain. For example, my body actually naturally sits around like 140. I'm 5'4", and that's kind of where I sat like growing up. At my height and just for my, I guess, body stature, when I was 140, I was always a little bit chubbier. Like it just naturally for me, I was. And so I sit now naturally now around kind of like 123, I'd say is like my sweet spot. And then I fluctuate between 120 and 123. But in order for me to have lost from 140 to 120, I had to be so accurate. It was a lot. It was years and years of like, I did lots of like fat loss phases and then back into building phases, and I slowly went down from there, and now I like really naturally sit at like the 123 is what I find. But with that, with talking about tracking, is like I had to be super, super accurate to get down there. Especially because it wasn't like a huge weight loss and fat loss goal, I guess, for myself. So just like kind of tying it back from there. So most likely with the food tracking, it's not a quality issue, because I wanted to talk about like we always say this, like if let's say your deficit amount was 1,500 and you could have in that number, you could have 3 McDoubles from McDonald's and it equal to 1450, for example. I don't know how many. Do you know how many calories McDoubles have?
How many McDoubles?
Yeah,
calories. I don't know, like 390 or something.
Okay, I don't know. Let's just say, let's say you could have 4 McDoubles.
400 maybe.
Let's say you could have 4 McDoubles total, and it kind of like evened out at your deficit amount. Could you lose weight doing that? Yeah, I guess so. Like, I guess.
Yeah, there's people that have definitely pulled that off, but that
I
just
like to give
you
this
have to
extreme
show
example.
you have to show a lot of restraint and
But I'm saying
oftentimes
with the numbers, it's like yes, you could technically lose weight with that amount, but
right
it wouldn't
like
the food quality obviously. So what I'm saying there is like the food quality, it's not the problem. Like you can lose weight by tracking, processed food. If you ate a bunch of processed food and you tracked it and it hit your calorie goal, would you lose weight? Technically, yes. But it's always like a portion control issue with weight loss. So you can be like,
right.
I eat, like we hear it all the time, I eat healthy, and that's great. Obviously, you want to be eating good quality food. That's what we believe in, everything like that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's a quantity issue. Like how much are you eating?
Yeah, and there's a lot of really clean foods, like an avocado, for example, that's like super calorically dense,
Super healthy fats,
like,
amazing healthy fats
really good
sources
for you.
women.
But like you have to show restraint in the portion department. You have to weigh it out. You have to know how much you're eating.
Exactly.
Right?
Because you could be like, I used to think this because obviously avocado is super healthy, so I'm just giving this example. I remember I used to make this, and this is before, like, this was like 10 years ago when I first started into the gym.
Yeah.
I actually have a picture on my phone from it was like 9 years ago. And it was like, I had, I think, 5 boiled eggs. And again, nothing's wrong with that. Very healthy fat sources with the whole eggs and the yolk and stuff. But I don't know how many calories would 5 whole eggs be.
I think that's like 350 or something.
Okay, and then I had a whole avocado. How much do you think calories are in a whole avocado?
Yeah, see right that.
Like 100.
You had the entire avocado, eh? Yeah.
200.
Oh man,
something
like both sides,
yes.
right? Yeah. Oh yeah, man, like hundreds of calories for sure.
And then I had a side of it was like brown rice or something like that. I have the picture. I wonder if I could find it. I have the picture on my phone, and I was like, this is healthy, and yes, that is healthy, very healthy fat sources, all that, and good quality whole food portion or options.
Right.
Little did I know that before food tracking, before I started food tracking, that bowl of food had I don't know how many calories, probably
600, 700, 800 calories.
Exactly, but I was like, it's healthy, right? And so that's what we're talking about, is how important the food tracking is. Because if back then, I guess if I would have known the food tracking portion, I could have portioned that in half or even more.
Yeah, you could fall into this trap, which I've seen it before, where it's you have 3 to 4 healthy meals per day, but because they're not weighed out and there's a lot of healthy fats in there, it's from a health standpoint, I guess, from a micronutrient, all that stuff, great, it's great meals. It's not like the meals are bad. It's just calorically dense wise, if that makes sense. They're 700, 800 calories per meal.
And then
all of a sudden you're gaining a bunch of weight, and then you're kind of what the hell is going on? This doesn't make any sense.
And
right?
I'll say that's one of the top things women come to us being frustrated, being I eat so healthy, I don't know what's going on. And then we start and implement the food tracking. And then they're like, wow, I think before I was having 100 grams of feta cheese on my salad, and now I'm only having 30 grams, and I still feel full and whatever. But they're like, but wow, I was eating 300 grams or 300 calories of feta cheese alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big ones are, you've probably heard it, healthy fat, olive oil, coconut oil, nuts, avocado, whole eggs. These are very good, high quality, healthy fat sources. But they're very calorically dense too.
Yeah. So you just have to be aware of that when you're incorporating that into whatever it is you're eating or your nutrition plan. It's just
peanut butter.
Yeah, but this is for anyone, right? It's just why weighing is so important, because if you're not weighing those higher calorie foods, right, at the end of the day, even if they are healthy, it's just going to tip things over so fast.
Yeah.
Which sucks too, because it doesn't feel like that much more food. There's a lot of items I really like that are really calorically dense, that are really good for you. You know what I mean? I love, certain types of red meat and things like that have a lot of fat, animal fats and things. And it's I can only have so much of that.
Yeah.
Because I know if I have a little bit too much, even if it's really, really good, it's going to tip the scale a little bit too much. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all that means, right?
Yeah, exactly. I guess let's talk about too, just because there's lots of this online, I think is if tracking is, I guess, considered extreme. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard that?
Yeah, I've heard that for sure. I think a lot of people look at tracking or counting calories, right? I think that's something that's scary to a lot of people. They really flip out about that, right? Some people freak out. They think they think that's taking nutrition to the extreme.
Yeah.
Right, and I think a lot of people millions of people out there who have saw success probably, or has been introduced to a method where you don't weigh your food, right? It's like portion control or use your fist or something like that, right? Like something like that, like to know how much you're eating or whatever, right? And it's like, if you saw success with that, that's great, but like there's no possible way to know for sure how much you're eating unless you're weighing. That's why. It's just like that's the only way to find out how much you're truly having. Yeah. Like, which is so crucial.
And like Dylan said at the beginning of this, like you don't need to weigh forever, and really like if you get the hang of tracking, which like everybody in our program does, is you learn the portions. So you're like, okay, I know, roughly what 100 grams of chicken looks like. I roughly know what, 10 grams of peanut butter looks like, because if you don't have that experience with tracking, then you just don't know, right?
Right, yeah.
The talking that we hear is like, oh, wow, I didn't know that this peanut butter equaled this much calories, or I didn't know that this equaled this
peanut butter is always the number one thing people flip out about.
That's always
it's so
the
funny,
example.
Like it's always peanut butter, because every time you weigh peanut butter for the first time, you just look at how much is on your piece of bread, for example, and you're just like, what? That's it? Like it barely. If it's smooth enough, like it barely covers the entire slice of.
So I'll do I'll do two slices of Ezekiel bread, and then I'll give like 15 grams of peanut butter, but it hardly
it just hardly covers the one slice of bread. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah.
But it's a good portion. Like
it's like standard, right? But
it depends on where you're at.
The point is like all of us at one point used to just slather peanut butter on, and it would obviously be like 3, maybe 4 times the amount that's actually, how much we weigh out now, if that makes sense.
Nicole said, yay, good morning, and then Gabby said hello. So
hey, good morning, everyone.
Yeah,
hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday so far.
So for us, like personally, and there will be some people out there who weigh their like meats uncooked. Personally, I weigh my meats cooked. Yeah. I just do.
I do too. It's just easier to prep that way.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with her this morning, like preparing for today, just like with raw meats, you can weigh your meat raw if you always weigh it that way. You need to stick to one way of weighing something. But here's the thing, if you're weighing your meat raw, when you go to cook it all at once, right, it's a little bit different because you want to prep everything at once. It's just so much easier to just put all the beef in a frying pan, cook it all, weigh it, and then portion it out. That's just the easiest thing to do. And so, convenience matters. So meats are always going to be weighed cooked, right? And same thing with certain items like rice, or like sweet potato, I'll weigh cooked as well.
Me too.
Pasta will weigh cooked as well.
Yeah, that's a big one where people say weigh it uncooked. I personally weigh it cooked. I use the entry, and I get my clients to use the entry cooked, pasta on my MyFitnessPal, and I get you to weigh, a good portion. I get clients and myself is like between 90 grams and like 120, 130 at the high end is like a good range for like a carbohydrate for one meal. But I always just do pasta cooked. All pasta is like, the pasta that we're using is the same, and so just having the one entry is just the best way to do it in my opinion, because when you start barcode scanning or looking up certain, like the brand name of the pasta, it will be in the dry, I think. So I've had it lots of times when I look this over on, especially on new clients, where they'll be like, oh, I put my pasta in, it's 500 calories. I didn't know it was so calorically dense.
Like crazy
and I'm like, no, that's not right.
Because it's uncooked.
That's not right. And so we'll change it. But I like to do it that way, and that's just a personal preference.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as anything that makes the prep process easier, like if you want to have containers of certain non-negotiable items that you eat all the time in your fridge, kind of pre-cooked, if that makes sense, it's easier to just have that cooked.
Yeah.
And then just separate it as you divvy out your meals, if that makes sense.
Yeah, a couple things that we weigh dry would be like oats would be weighed dry.
Oats always dry, yeah, because oftentimes you're just making one order of oats at a time. You're not really prepping oats, unless you're doing overnight oats, but that's different.
But you still would, I'm pretty sure you still, with most overnight oats, you still put it in dry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Cream of rice. If you don't know what cream of rice is, it's like a...
It's just like a...
Do they sell
it?
It's
kind of like a newer... It's like a newer
item. It's like a bodybuilding.
It's like a newer item. It's like pulverized grain, essentially, and it's like... It tastes really good if you make it properly. Like I've had a couple bowls.
It's really big in the bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's really, really good on your stomach.
You can't get it at the grocery stores here.
No, you typically have to get like the ones I'm talking about where they're like flavored and they actually taste really good. are like from like supplement stores because they're literally like a supplement. Like they're sold as like a supplement, even though it's like an oat type product.
In the
You know what I
US,
mean?
though,
Like,
would it be sold in the supermarket?
I think so.
Okay,
I
okay.
think so. I think it's more common there.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to like what grits might be like.
Yeah.
Just like really, really fine grain.
It's just a good carb source. Yeah.
But really easy on the stomach.
Yeah.
If oatmeal is too.
It's
too,
like a
too complex for
mushy
you.
oatmeal. So anyways,
Yeah.
And you can order it
But
online.
I don't think Brittany likes it. Yeah.
No, I do. I do. I've tried it before. I just
Yeah.
haven't had
Right.
it in a long
Oh
time.
yeah. Yeah. It's not bad.
And then another one would be like egg whites. You would weigh those raw, so that would be like in liquid form. Put it on the scale, zero it out.
Yeah, and then just dump it in the pan. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, personally, like I weigh all my veggies and potatoes cooked. I just do. I make sure that the entry is cooked on the MyFitness.
Yeah.
That's what I do. So another point is using MyFitnessPal's recipe builder. So that's like where if you want to make a more elaborate recipe, you can put all of the ingredients in bulk, and then you can pick the serving sizes. So if you made like a protein zucchini brownie with 8 servings, you could just make it all in bulk as opposed to trying to put in like the individual ingredient, which wouldn't really make sense.
Right.
Sense. So,
Yeah.
So I use that lots when I make my recipes. I use the MyFitnessPal recipe builder.
Yeah.
So I don't think have you ever used that?
I think it saves for you, right?
Yeah.
For me, I just have all my meals are like pretty much identical.
He doesn't
every
make
day.
any sort of elaborate recipes.
Yeah, I wish I did, but I don't. Yeah, my meals are so simple all the time.
Yeah.
Unless she's recommending something that we try, and then I'll fit that in to, I'll create like a substitution for myself, and I'll weigh out how much I need to make it work. But she's the recipe person, so yeah.
So just going back to it, so like just weighing in grams on the scale, like that is just like my biggest recommendation.
Yeah.
And any client where I see if they're tracking, especially if they're newer, if they're weighing in cups and like tablespoons and things like that, is I will get them to switch over to grams, and we will see better results that way. Again, I'm not hating on cups and tablespoons and things like that because I feel like they get a bad rap online and people are like, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
But if you have a really specific goal, and that goes for like weight loss or like muscle building, or you're just being really extreme, like you have an extreme goal, weighing in grams on the scale every single thing and not just little things and then you're like, oh, I didn't add in the butter or the whatever, like every single thing, the coffee creamer, like I weigh every single thing on the scale that I eat, especially, by the way, you guys, I do take some breaks, but especially when I have like a specific goal, especially a fat loss goal, every single thing that has calories is being weighed on the scale. It's being zeroed out. I'm making sure it's all accurately tracked in MyFitnessPal because I hear this lots too. Well, I weighed like 90% of my food, but then if we actually went back and then you're like, oh wow, I actually had an extra 600 calories that I didn't think about. Those calories add up fast, and so if you have a specific goal, always weighing in grams on the scale will get you very, very far, and that's what will get you to your goal.
That's right. Now, like for the holidays and things like that, when we're with family, like that's the times where me and Brittany, for example, aren't weighing. Like we're not weighing the food we're getting from if we're at like a family event or we're out for supper or something.
No, we're just talking about like your everyday home.
That's right.
On track with your plan.
Just doing your thing, consistency. Every single day, like just making sure you're weighing everything that you're eating on a normal day-to-day basis. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it will instead of kind of just like I would even say call it like screwing around with the cups and you're like, I don't really know if this is 100% accurate. You're doing it anyway, so just do it on the scale because it's 100% accurate. You can't, like 1 gram is 1 gram. You know what I mean?
That's it. So it's not gonna lie to you, right?
I just want to make sure that there's no questions here.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh, here, Anna said, I'm starting to do this again. We just booked a trip to Mexico, so I have to get back in gear. I have picked up my workouts also. That's amazing.
That's awesome. That's great.
That is amazing. And let us know where you're going in Mexico. We love Mexico.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
It's always good to have, like, if you have like a trip in mind, obviously for the motivation side of things, you're like, okay, there's an end date type of thing. Obviously you want to keep going, but if you have like a specific goal, like you're like, okay, I want to lose 10 pounds for this trip, it's always nice to have a trip or event or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's awesome. Yeah, you guys are going to have a blast. Just let us know where you're going and
and
what part of Mexico. Yeah, we've been to Mexico quite a few times now, and we love it every time we go. It's a great place to be. I love it there. So
we've been to both sides.
We seem to always end up going back there if we book something like for a week. You know, which say okay, Puerto Vallarta or Cancun or Playa del Carmen or
Yeah.
those, those areas. So
Yeah.
no, it's great.
So just wanted to just talk about kind of the importance of the scale. If you have any questions about anything, just let us know and we can go into more detail on it. But just wanted to, the importance of just like weighing on the scale in grams.
Yeah, that's really just it for today. That was awesome. Britt again with the best ideas. So give her a round of applause. I'm just kidding.
I hope you guys have a great. We're Tuesday.
Tuesday. That's right. See, I told you. You thought it was Wednesday.
And we'll chat soon. Bye, guys.
See.